This man was beaten by his girlfriend and retreated into his room. He called the police to report that he was being domestically abused, desperately begging them to come save him. The woman outside heard him on the phone with the cops. She swung a baseball bat and smashed it hard against the door lock. The man pushed back against the door with everything he had. The woman peered through the gap in the door and into the room, then caught him off guard and reached in to grab him by the shirt. The man screamed in terror, frantically crying out for help. When the police arrived, they arrested the woman. But even that wasn't enough to set her straight. She smiled and told the man to wait for her to get out. The man was so shaken he couldn't say a single word. He barely had time to feel relieved, when one day he came home from work and found a pair of heels sitting outside his front door, along with a woman's handbag. Then he saw her, standing in the kitchen, cooking. He couldn't get a single word out. When the woman saw her boyfriend walk through the door, she casually told him she'd just been released that day, then picked up a knife and walked toward him. He panicked and was about to call the police, but her threat stopped him cold. She smiled and said that getting arrested this time meant a year at most, but when she got out again, she would kill him. The man had nowhere left to run. She told him this was the price he paid for betraying her and calling the cops. Then she noticed blood pouring from his nose, and suddenly her whole demeanor softened. She said she'd learned how to cut hair in prison. His hair had gotten pretty long anyway. She offered to trim it for him. As she turned to walk away, he frantically called out to stop her. He swore he would never call the police again. He promised to agree to anything, as long as she would just let him go. But the word break up set her off all over again. She slammed the kitchen knife onto the floor in a rage, and unleashed everything she had on him, shoved him roughly against the wall, and demanded to know how she could love him so much. Yet he kept trying to leave her. Why couldn't he just do what she said? The man kept pleading with her to let him go, but the woman only grew more furious. She grabbed a hammer off the couch, ready to make sure he never caused her trouble again. Crushed under the weight of her twisted obsession, the man was broken beyond repair. Just as he was sobbing and falling apart, the woman suddenly snapped back to reality. She looked down at him crumpled on the floor, wailing, and rushed to apologize for what she had just done. After being put through her cycle of torment over and over again, the man was barely a shadow of himself. He thought locking himself in a room would keep him safe, but she haunted him like a ghost he couldn't shake, standing outside the door, threatening him with every word. With no way out, the man turned his thoughts to ending it all, but somehow he survived. He hit the ground and walked away without a scratch. Only the pain etched into his memory felt real.